Hello, good afternoon before the long May weekend. I hope that you're having a nice plan full of sunshine, water, sport, going out with your kids, with your family, with your friends, or maybe spending time with yourself, with your pets, with your thoughts. And I forgot to bring myself water. Oh no. And that's really not great. Whew. Today's afternoon, the live video is gonna be quite short and down to the point because I know you are very busy, and I would like you to take your notebook first of all. So I think I'm gonna maybe give you a minute to prepare your notebook, and we can do it live together here. And you can also ask a question in a comment as we're gonna talk and work. I'm gonna be doing the talking, you're gonna be doing the working, but you can still ask the question or leave a comment during this live video in a real time. So actually you can have more input just by than just watching me talking. And today's live video is about money. So grab yourself a pen and notebook, and I'm gonna bring myself water because I have forgotten about it, and I'm gonna see you here in a second. This is gonna be very awkward, so I'm just gonna, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna turn the camera a bit, and I'll see you very soon. Give me a second. I'm back. Did you get your notebooks and pens? Just getting ready. I'm really sorry. Just need that blanket. Even though it's May here in Scotland, I'm kind of cold all the year round and wear even woolen socks all the year round, so it's a bit sad. Yes, money. So, like I said, this live video is gonna be quite short. They're gonna be down to earth and down to the point, and very quick reflection about money. So I'm gonna ask you a few questions, and you can write down the answers, and then we're gonna look together at your answers. Even though I will not know them, obviously, unless you leave your answers in a comment, I will try to guess a little bit what you could have written. Because, how would I guess? Because we are similar, all of us here on earth, and we share a lot of beliefs and a lot of problems and a lot of daily situations. Like, we differ, but there are also things that we have in common, and this is how I can guess what you could answer to my questions around money in your life. So, if you are still here, ready with your notebook, that means that that topic, or for whatever, maybe there's another reason, but there must be some interest in you, right? Otherwise you wouldn't be here. So, first question that I'm gonna ask you as you are watching me here now, and I hope you have your notebook ready, is why am I spending my time here now in this way? Why am I spending my time here now in this way? And the best way of working with a notebook and a pen is writing the first answer that comes to your mind. And must be honest. Be honest with yourself. It can be, for example, I'm bored. I'm bored. It can be, I'm looking for something. I don't know what I'm looking for. It can be something else. It can be specifically, I'm interested in that live video. I want to learn about money and my beliefs around money. I want to see what that person's going to talk about money. Or perhaps you've been here before on my Facebook and you know more or less what I'm talking about, reaching for our goals and changing our life. Perhaps that's the reason why you're here. That's the greatest reason, really. Because that means that you are one of the persons I want to reach to. Maybe there's another reason, I cannot guess. Okay, so write down the answer, and you see that answer is just for yourself. It's not for me. It means that you are looking for something. Even if it's just like you feel bored, there's something that draws you here. You're not going elsewhere, because there's so many options what you can watch online. You don't have to watch me. You can do so many other things on your phone or on your Facebook even. But you're here just now. So why are you here? And you need to write it down for yourself, just to be honest. And now I'm going to leave that answer with you. And I think it might be important in your journey. Now, please, just make like a line underneath that answer to that question. Why are you here today watching me? Just leave a line. We'll leave it for later on. You can come back to it later on. And now we're coming to the topic of our conversation, money. I don't know if it's true, but I heard, maybe you heard that true as well, that money comes from a word mana. And I think that was in one of those Hawaii, like, I don't know, I might be completely wrong, languages of native Hawaii people. I would have to check it, and I didn't take my other phone with me. I would check it straight away. I'm not prepared. Mana apparently meant life force, life energy in that language. And I don't know where I heard it. That must have been many years ago. It stuck with me somehow. I was thinking about it. Why? How money, and even if it comes from the word mana in some other language, why would it mean life force or life strength or life energy? But let's look at that. Let us take the inspiration from that idea that money somehow is connected with our life strength, life energy, life force, something that brings us to this life, to this earth, and makes us stay despite the difficulties, sometimes really even tremendous obstacles on our way. Sometimes very difficult childhood, sometimes also difficult events in our adulthood. Somehow we're still here. And in modern times, almost I think every person on that planet somehow deals with money. Many, even children already, right? Some children are given money by the parents, and some children in other parts of the world are forced to work. There's a child labor, right, in this world, in our world, on that earth. So some children are born into the families and countries and cultures where they are given money to learn how to deal with it, for example. And some children in our world, on the same planet, small children are being forced to work for money. Okay? Life force. One word. And one life. Your life. The first question that I'm going to ask you to write on your notebook, in your notebook, is, how did I learn about money? What is my first memory connected with money? Did I see it? Now many people don't use cash anymore, so it will have to be a bank card. Did I see it as a child? Did I see my parents paying for something? They ask them questions probably about it. Many children ask questions. How was it for you? Try to remember. How did you learn about money? That's the first question. The second question. How did I feel as a child when the money were mentioned in my family? Many parents argue about money. Some parents try not to argue in front of children and try to protect them from what is not in our culture seen as a thing that child should be dealing with. Some parents try introduce their children to the whole concept of money and what it means by, for example, paying them for good notes at school. We're still talking about the privileged part of the world. I'm sorry, didn't expect that. I'm sorry, I should have switched off that phone. I need to think about it, because actually I could Google some information next time on it when I'm recording that live video. So I need to think about what to do. Okay, so the next question. So we have already two questions. The first question was, how did you find out about money in your life? Your memories around it. How did you learn what they mean? And second one, what did you feel as a child when your parents dealt with money? What was the atmosphere in your family home, in other words? If you come from the family where the money was not a problem and people were relaxed about it, or perhaps there was some difficulty around it, what were your first feelings around money? Was it more like excitement, like we have plenty and we can do whatever we want? Was it more like a bit tense atmosphere at home? Was it a lot of anxiety, or was it actually bad? Was it like a scary thing and there wasn't enough, for example? Okay, so that's a very important question when we're dealing with the question of money in our lives, and that life force as well. Let's stick to that metaphor that I'm gonna check actually which language it comes from, and I'm gonna post it in the description of that video. But because now I'm thinking like I need to find out. Maybe you heard about it, and if you did, please leave it in a comment. And money means mana in one of the old languages of the world, which means apparently life force. And I'm quite inspired by this idea that money is connected with the life force. Now, what does it mean? When I was thinking about what I'm gonna say during that live video, and I was thinking about that life force that we all have, everyone who is still alive, who's still here on this planet, have some resources, have some life force, some life energies flowing through her or him. Why? Because otherwise it's not possible to be here. So if you breathe, if you're here, if you're alive, you have some life force. That also means that you have some resources and you have learned how to juggle them. Now, in our culture, most of us cannot live without money. Money is connected with power, is connected with our family dynamics, also with group dynamics, with social institutions, organizations, governments, nations, and so on. But when it goes down to you as an individual, let's go to the basics. Your first memories around money. How did you learn about money when you were a child? And what was the atmosphere in your family home around money? That's the first thing. When we are looking at the question, for example, how to make more money. And now we're going, so that's the first part of our exercise. You can come back to it later as well. And now we're gonna, again, maybe draw a line underneath and go to the next one, the next part. And now I'm gonna ask you, I know we're going quite at a quick pace, but I don't have much time today, so we're gonna do it quickly and you can come back to it. The next question. Please write 10 first verbs that come to your mind when you're thinking about money. And I'm gonna give you a minute to do it. 10 verbs that come to your mind when you're thinking about the money. So, for example, you can make money, take money, have money, give money, receive money. What else you can do? Transfer money, earn money. Did I say make money already? Maybe there are some other words that come to your mind. Get money, lose money, steal money. What else you can do? I'm not saying that you should be doing it. I don't know if I said 10 words. Do you have 10 words? If there's another word coming to your mind, you can write it in a comment. And look at that list. Look at that list. And now look at the first 3 words that came to your mind when I've asked you to write those 10 on your list. What were the first 3 words that came to your mind? Now those 3 words, at that time in your life that you are now today, are the first ideas that come to your mind when you're thinking about the money. And quite likely, this is where you are now at in your life. Those 3 first words will tell you, and I don't know what you've written there, right? It's only yours. That those first 3 words will tell you if you are more like calm about having and making and earning money, or more anxious, or more excited about it, afraid, or feeling things are okay, all right, normal, as usual, perhaps some difficulty, but nothing that you couldn't be very quickly resolving in the nearest future. So, and notice at the same time the feelings in your body as you are looking at those 3 words from your list, the first top words. What are the feelings in your body? Do you feel calm? Do you feel happy? Or do you feel tense, anxious, or there's a mixture? You can even be more specific and look at different parts of your body. Because if you are good at that already, like you have a very good connection with yourself, you might, for example, notice that there's like a little squeezing feeling in your belly, but at the same time there's space in your head. Or, for example, your feet are becoming very warm or cold. So notice the changes in the temperature. This is just to connect more with yourself. Because our bodies communicate with us our feelings, and those feelings come from events in the past and our expectations for the future. There is a reason why we feel a certain way, so it's really good to be connected very well with our bodies because they are our guides. So as you're noticing the feelings in your body, the only thing that you need to do really is to breathe and nothing else. There's nothing else you need to do, just noticing breathing, and you can look at those 3 words from the top of your list that I've asked you, the verbs that come to your mind around money. that time in your life, because it will be changing. And now we are coming and moving on to the third part of our exercise, and then we're gonna wrap up our very quick live session. And if you're still here live and you still have a possibility to ask a question in a comment, but if you're gonna be watching this live video later, you can also leave a question in a comment or share something, and I will come back to it in the next live video. So now we're gonna a little bit shake off first of all. So if you can get up and move around your room and shake a little bit, just to kind of let go of those thoughts and feelings around the first 3 verbs from your list, and you can always come back to it later on. So I'd like you just to move a little bit to the third part, just to move energy a little bit. So please get up and shake a little bit and walk around the room. Breathe first, 3 full breathing in and out breaths. Letting go, allowing, giving space, moving on. And then when you're ready, please come back to your seat. Turn the page in your notebook. Take your pen, and I'm going to ask you another question. So we've already been through a journey here, right? So the first question was, why are you here now watching that live video? And we made a line. And the second question was, how did you learn about money? What was the atmosphere in your family, home around money? Yeah? The feelings from your childhood around it, the first memories around it. Put a line. And I've asked you about 10 verbs. That come to your mind when you think about the money, and the first 3, we were working a little bit more with that. And now we're moving on. You have a new page open, new notebook. And there is another part of our practice and exercise today. And that is, what is that I would like to invite you in my life? What is that I would like to invite my life? And please write an honest answer, and only one answer. What is that I would like to invite now to my life? Just one thing. And breathe and feel it. And I hope that as you are writing your answers, you can now see the connection between life force and how we feel, and our childhood memories, and our beliefs, and our understanding the place that money play in our lives. And as always, I will be reminding us how privileged we are if we had an access to education and a possibility not to be, for example, in today's live video example, forced as children to do work for our families, because there are such stories in our world. There are adults who did that as children, and there are also children now who do it in so-called underprivileged parts of the world. We'll have to go to the world's difficult history to look more into the reasons behind it. But I assume that if you watched that live video, probably you weren't forced to work as a child, and you had that privilege to go to school and learn. And you are quite privileged, just like me, just like everyone in our group who's watching it. And you can work today as an adult with what you got in order to reach for more, which is what empowerment through creative process is really about. The coaching program I have created for you to help you to turn your dreams into your goals and to make them a reality for you and for others. So I hope that that session was helpful and inspiring. And please do leave a question or a comment. And I'm gonna be back. I would like to wish you a very, very nice weekend, long weekend. I hope you're gonna enjoy the good weather. Have spring in Europe. And I would recommend, if you find time, for example, tomorrow or on Sunday evening, to come back to your answers and work with it a little bit more. And we're gonna be continuing this. As if you came here before and watched me before, you probably realized at the moment I'm jumping around different topics a little bit each time I'm here. And I think that over time we'll be becoming more focused and we'll be working in small groups on Zoom. Those live videos will always stay here for free, and I'm also trying to learn how to make copies on them to put them on YouTube so people can come back to it later, because Facebook deletes them after 30 days. So there will be available some copies later on. Some of them are already on my YouTube, and you can watch it there as well. I'm gonna leave a link, and I'm also gonna check for as well which language that word mana comes from. I thought it was, if I remember right, it was from one of the native people of Hawaii as islands, but I'm not quite sure, so I'm gonna check that and I'm gonna post it here. Have a good energy. Good life force, may mana be with you. And I'll see you here very soon. Thank you so much for being with us as usual. Agnés, Yasmin, empowerment through creative process coach and an artist. Thank you one more time and see you soon.